Howdy friends, welcome back to Let's Play Pokemon Heartgold. It is about 15 minutes before Friday, so we have a few things I want to get done real quick, and we're not going to waste any time. We are here in Violet City at the moment, and I actually came here for a different reason, but I recalled reading that there is an item in town which we actually want. I do still have a lot of our HM heavy Pokemon with us. Hopefully I don't fight any wild Pokemon. There's one now. Because we will be doing a little bit of exploring to start things off. Poliwag! Alright, so as you can see, I have trained little Leah all the way up to level 25. I'm going to run away because I don't know any moves that are good against Poliwag, and Poliwag is faster. It seems like Horsey is pretty slow. For some reason I thought Horsey was moderately fast for a first level Pokemon, or first stage Pokemon, but apparently it's not. And that is not the item we were looking for, but I will certainly take it. I did buy a lot of repels. I think I bought like 15 max repels, yep. So they're pretty expensive actually, that adds up. But I think they're worth it nonetheless. So as you probably saw there, I taught Leah Surf from the TM, which is a great water type move. That's actually a move that she will keep very likely for the rest of the game. It's my favorite water type attack. Not sure who that was calling. Hopefully it wasn't important. You know, I actually haven't heard from Lyra in a while, or seen Lyra. I know she's like a new addition to the game, but I still figured we would hear from her a little bit more. Rare candy, again, not what I was looking for, but I will very happily take it. I'm sure we will. Sorry about that ding, it's just a Skype message. I'll have to remember to use some of those as we get to the very end of the game. Maybe like before our final battle when we're training for the toughest fight in the entire game. Okay, so I thought the thing I need is across a body of water. There's Rock Smash. Come on, Sandshrew, good job. I also bought the TM. What did we find? Oh, a star piece. I think you just sell those for money. We can always use money. So I see no regular item here, so either we got it already and I just forgot, or there's a hidden item here. Apparently we just forgot. Leah is somehow fighting off sleep. Well, it is very late, Leah, and you've had a very long day. Lots of training, but I'm going to ask you to stay awake just a little bit longer here. Oh, that was a waste of a repel. This is the same body of water we were just at. I could have sworn it was Violet. Maybe it was Cherry Grove, actually. Now that I think of it. Alright, well, the real reason I came here was to head out to this route, because I believe the next weekday sibling is lurking around here somewhere. Is it you? Nope. Ah, she wants to go to Ecritique to go shopping. Why not Goldenrod? Goldenrod is also that way and has a department store. Highly recommend. Up here he is, Arthur of Thursday. Get it? Arthur, Thursday. Who are you? I'm Arthur of Thursday. Here, take this. Hardstone. If you use rock-type moves, you should give that to your Pokemon. It raises the strength of rock-type moves. Alright, we do use rock-type moves on... Well, he's not with us at the moment, but on, Kroot, of course. So we will save that for him. Alright, so let's fly back to Cherry Grove then, even though I was there fairly recently, and try to find that item that I missed. So a move I would like to teach Leah eventually is Ice Beam, because Ice and Water have really good coverage together, which means they hit a decent amount of Pokemon for super effective damage, and a lot of moves that... Oh, maybe it's over this way. A lot of Pokemon that Surf is not good against, Ice Beam would be. Grass types, for example. And, or Dragon types as well. And also vice versa. Like, Ice isn't good against Fire, but Water is. Let's go ahead and just use another Repel. No, I don't want to save. Not sure what Pokemon you can encounter here in the water, but probably nothing too interesting. So if I had Rock Climb, I could go up there, but I don't. Is that guy a fisherman? He doesn't look like a fisherman. A Pokemon I caught had an item. I think it's Mystic Water. I don't need it, so do you want it? Yes, I do. That's what I was looking for. I didn't realize a person gives it to you, but that does sound familiar. Back to fishing for me then. So he is a fisher, but not one you'll fight. Alright, I think that's about all there is to see here in Cherry Grove. At least that is what I came for. I'm not going to actually give that to Leah though, because as you can see, she is holding the Choice Specs. I realized very late into her training that that would actually be a great item for her, because she could really use a nice little power boost, and you're probably not going to use different abilities or different moves at this stage in the game, unless you're fighting like a long trainer battle. Okay, so we did those two. What is next on my list? That was the thing I really need to do before Thursday ended. So we have Mystic Water. So I will give Leah Mystic Water at some point. But for now, I think we're going to stick with the Choice Specs. Okay, let's head to... you know what? Let's head to Lake of Rage. We're going to be doing a lot of traveling today, so hope you guys enjoy traveling. Hopefully Hoot Hoot is well rested, because we'll be doing a lot of flying as well. The only way to travel. But Ice Beam is actually really hard to get, and I think we need to go this way. We'll see. You need 10,000 coins from the game corner, and like I think I said before, I'm going to actually buy Thunderbolt first. Once I eventually get 10,000 coins, I need to really start working on that. But once I do, I'm going to save Thunderbolt for Magmortar, since Magmortar cannot learn Thunder, whereas Horsea and its line can learn Blizzard instead of Ice Beam. So I'd rather have Ice Beam because it has more power points and it has more accuracy. Ice Beam is base 95 power in this generation and 100% accuracy, whereas Blizzard is 120 base power but only 70% accuracy, unless you're in Hail. But we won't be fighting in the Hail weather condition very often. That's a waste to repel. I think I keep doing that. You think by now I would know this maze, but I don't. So I taught it those two moves. It also knows Bubble Beam just because why not? But we won't be keeping Bubble Beam for very long. Also at an end. I think all those trees were around this way, maybe? No. So I just don't remember anything at all, apparently. You know what, let's fly back to the house, because that's probably closer. Perhaps I had to go on the route over on the left. So luckily it doesn't matter where you head flying in this place, it takes you right back to the cabin here, and that means we can restart where we are. Also, let's talk to this guy just real quick, now that we've solved the Lake of Rage issue. The Lake of Rage is back to normal, and the Magikarp have returned. Really, they never left. I may yet achieve my dream of seeing the world's largest Magikarp. Do you have a rod? Please help me if you do. I do. So you can catch Magikarp, show them to him. Not sure what he gives you as prizes, probably like berries or something. But you'll just have to try it yourself and find out, because I'm probably not going to. I did catch a number of large Magikarp in Pokemon Go. I used to train at a waterfront where there were tons of Magikarp everywhere. Also Dratini, that's the real reason I really liked training there. Hey, ironically we find a over-evolved Gyarados after the plot is over. But it does make sense, because obviously if a Gyarados evolves, it doesn't just suddenly de-evolve after the thing is turned off. Intimidate won't matter, because Leah is a special attacker. Surf is not very effective, but Blizzard will be evenly effective. Of course, like I said, it can miss. That's why I wish I had Ice Beam. But we'll get it eventually. First Thunderbolt, and then eventually, much later in the game, we will eventually teach Leah Ice Beam. What else was I going to say? Something else about... Oh, nature. So Leah has a quirky nature, which is either plus defense and minus special defense, or vice versa. I don't remember which. I'm going to use a berry. I have been harvesting berries whenever I get the chance, since those are basically free potions. Oh, I keep thinking it's... I can't get out of my head that this is not 30 HP anymore. It's a quarter. I wonder if I should grow some more Aurum berries. I came really close to doing that, but I feel like pretty soon we'll get to the point where a citrus berry will always do more than an Aurum berry. I was hoping I could make that. And a Magikarp. We're just going to run away from Magikarp, because of how little XP they give. Magikarp is fast though. Alright. Oh, and it might have the ability Swift Swim, which would make it faster in the rain. Not sure if that matters when you're trying to escape, but it might. Okay, is this where all those cut things were? Hopefully there's something good from all that cutting. No, it's not. Oh, you know what? I am really dumb. The cut bushes, I think, are underneath the trees here. So we can't actually get to them now. Well, alright, we'll just come back next Wednesday then. Let me make a note of that. I might even do that off screen. I kind of meant to do this off screen, but just never got around to it. So, Lake of Rage, Wednesday. We got the Hardstone on Thursday. And there is something I want to do on Friday. In fact, we can also see the Friday sibling. Not really sure who that is. But first things first. So I do apologize if you guys were really hoping to see the Team Rocket plot continue right away. There are just a few little loose ends I want to tie up first. We might start the plot in this episode, but honestly I think it's more likely we're just going to do a bunch of little things in this episode. Hopefully fun little things. So Kurt, I don't think has finished my Pokeballs yet, because I checked right before this episode started, hoping that he had. I don't really need to use the Pokemon Center. We are going to head east of town. Basically, I just want to do all this stuff while we happen to have all these HM Pokemon in our party. Because after this episode, I hope not to use them all that much. I like how you ride your bike just right into the well. That's gotta hurt. I don't think we have a repel going, so let's use one. Okay, so if you remember, there is a second area of Slowpoke Well. A lot of caves in this game, and I guess in most Pokemon games, have areas you reach at the get-go, and then other hidden areas you can only reach once you have HMs that you acquire later in the game. So we can't go down there. We can, but there's probably nothing down here. If there was, I bet we already got it. But we do have strength, so we can head through this area. Seems like a long time ago we fought Team Rocket here. Alright, go ahead and push the boulders. Luckily I don't think Slowpoke Well is a very large cave. Thank you, Horsey. We do have Gyarados with us, but Leah also knows Surf. Let me just... Oh, I should have brought Kroot with us for the dig. Oh well, I do have some escape ropes, so I'll just have to buy some more. I wonder what Pokemon you can find here. Is it just like Zubat and Tentacool and other annoying Pokemon? Or can you actually like find Slowpoke? Oh, I see a trainer over there. Not sure if he gives you the item I'm looking for. I know that it's found in Slowpoke Well. I think it's an item ball. Yes, it is! TM18, Rain Dance. Very cool. Put that in our pocket. So that brings us to Horsey's ability. Which you can see here is Swift Swim. Like it says, it makes Horsey faster when it's raining. Horsey's rather slow at the moment. Horsey also knows Agility, though. So let's go a little bit further. Just see what there is. I do want to teach Leah Rain Dance eventually. That is going to be one of her permanent moves, I believe. But I kind of want to hold out. Yep, you can find Slowpoke here if you're so interested. We're going to run away, though, and pop another repel. Okay. Let's use our last super repel. See, these things go fast, too. They do not last long. They really want you to engage in wild encounters in this game. Alright, let's go talk to that super nerd. He might give us something. He might fight us. Not really sure. I'm just going to surf around this way, because I don't know, why not? I'm waiting to see Slowpoke's moment of evolution. Through observation, I made a new discovery. A Slowpoke with a King's Rock often gets bitten by a Shelder. Here, I'll share a King's Rock with you. Oh, okay, so this is where you get the King's Rock. That's cool. I'm going to be like Slowpoke. I'll wait patiently so I can see one evolve. Alright, very cool. Um, King's Rock is a pretty good item. It is used to evolve Slowpoke into Slowking, its new branched evolution, and also Poliwhirl into Politoed. Pokemon I don't really think about that much, even though it does have the ability Drizzle, which makes it automatically rain without having to use Rain Dance. Okay, escape rope, there you are. Take us out of this cave. Whee! Alright, here we go. But what else is cool about the King's Rock is that you can also use it just as a regular held item. And what it does is give your opponent a small chance to flinch. I think it was 1 in 8 or 12.5% in earlier games. Oh, wonder if that means Kurt's done. And they made it 1 in 10 in later games. So what's kind of cool about that, if you're really mean, you can give it to your a Togekiss with Serene Grace, and the move Air Slash. Kind of not really the best move to give it, even in that case, but it may be the most annoying move. So the idea there is that Serene Grace, like I said before, doubles the effects of moves, including flinching moves. And Air Slash, like Stomp, has a 30% flinch chance. It does have a 5% miss chance, but if you have a 30% flinch chance and then you double it with Serene Grace, that's 60%. The one trouble with that is the Togekiss is base speed of 80, same as like Dragonite, so it's kind of middle of the road speed tier. It's probably faster than half a fully evolved Pokemon, maybe a little less, but also slower than quite a few commonly used Pokemon. So what a lot of Togekiss trainers did, it was the most common Togekiss strategy. Oh, I didn't give them any more Apricorns, drats. Was teach their Togekiss Thunder Wave, which is a guaranteed paralysis unless you're fighting an electric type or a ground type. And of course, when a Pokemon is paralyzed, its speed is quartered. So Togekiss will then be faster. We have 11 of these, might as well give them to him. Oh, I wish it didn't do that. Okay. Yep, I will see you. I think it actually is 24 hours too, because I'm slowly getting further and further into the night before I can actually get my Pokeballs from Kurt. Usually I do it before I can start playing for the night, but that is not an option now. Alright, so now we're going to head into Union Cave because it is now officially Friday. We are 3 minutes into Friday. And if you guys remember from way back, there is something special you can find in Union Cave. Along with possibly some items and things. And some really common Pokemon. Like Sandshrew. So, Togekiss. The other nice thing about Thunder Wave is that your enemy then had a 1 in 4 chance of being fully paralyzed each turn. So they only have a 40% chance to attack if they're slower because you have the flinch chance. And then of that 40%, you lose another quarter due to the Thunder Wave, the chance of being paralyzed. So that's really a 30% chance to attack. And if you're mean, you can use a King's Rock, which is another like 10% or so. So that's like a 27% chance to attack. Now it's actually a little more than that because Air Slash only has 95% accuracy. Let's switch out the Soothe Bell. Where's my select button? There it is. Why can't I actually move things? Can I move the shiny stone? Oh, I can move. Wait a minute. There we go. Alright, so we are going to switch that with the Max Repel. And use a Max Repel. Very nice. So all in all, it's probably like close to 30% chance, but still, that's less than 1 in 3 chances you get to attack. And Air Slash is a pretty good move from a Pokemon that gets Stab, and has a decently high special attack stat. Togekiss is also very bulky, so it can survive quite a few hits, especially special attack. It has a okay defense and okay HP, but pretty good special defense, if I recall correctly. It can learn Roost, which is a great healing move for a flying type Pokemon. So a lot of trainers would run Thunder Wave, Roost, Air Slash, and then Aura Sphere, because Aura Sphere, even though it doesn't have a secondary effect, is a really good coverage move. It's a fighting type attack, and fighting and flying are not resisted by many Pokemon. Yay, we will have some real battles this episode, thankfully. You guys can see Leah in action. Alright, Leah, now's your big debut. Let's make a count. Against Pokemaniac Andrew. Marowak is a strong Pokemon. Very slow though, so this is good news. And weak to water. So we get Stab, we get Choice Spec boost, and it is a pretty powerful move. And because of that, it will be a one-shot. Nice job, Leah. Very nice job. Another Marowak. Okay, so this is a very good matchup. We have no choice but to use Surf, but that's quite alright. Or we could switch, but I'm not going to switch. Now, I actually started with my competitive battling back in Gen 4, and I had a Togekiss on my team. I really liked my team back then. It was Dragonite, Togekiss, Infernape, Starmie, Snorlax, and Fortress. Twister... Sure, I'll forget Bubble Beam just because Surf is better than Bubble Beam in almost every way. It has a little bit less power points, and it doesn't have the chance to lower your opponent's speed like Bubble Beam does, but I think that's only like a 10% chance, so it's not very reliable. Honestly, I'm not really even sure when I would use Twister, but it's a Dragon-type move, so why not? I want to keep Agility just because if there's a long battle and Leah is slower, it might be good to use. Really, I really should replace it with Rain Dance. And maybe I will. I just want to think about it a little more first. Because if if I'm slower, it benefits me to use Rain Dance because not only is my speed doubled, making me very, very, very likely faster, but it also powers up my water type moves, which are going to be my main source of attacks. And like I said, I will eventually replace Choice Spec with Mystic Water. In fact, maybe when I do that is when I'll teach Horsey Rain Dance, because otherwise it doesn't matter, because with Choice Spec you don't want to use Agility or Rain Dance either way. We have another trainer here. Let's go ahead and face him, since I do not think it's likely I will come back here on a Friday or any other day. So on my team, everyone expected that moveset from Togekiss, and I think I even used it for a while myself. Kangaskhan, this could be hard. I almost did Agility, but I gotta remember Choice Spec. That would have been a very bad move. Surf it is. Mega Punch. Oh, this is going to hurt a lot. Horsey does not have great defense. Alright, it can survive one Mega Punch. I don't think this is going to be a one-hit knockout. Kangaskhan is actually pretty bulky. It might not even be a 2-hit KO. Just barely with the Choice Spec. So our only hope here is that Kangaskhan uses a really dumb move, but it happens sometimes, so let's see. Rage. If they had used Rage twice, I think it would have been okay. But at 11... Oh, wow! Good job, Leah. There was no way I expected Leah to survive a stabbed Rage from Kangaskhan. And a critical hit! Very nicely done. Wow, Leah, between you and me, Leah wasn't super impressive in training, mainly because I was training her against Pokemon that were about the same level. First I trained South Vectortique, and then I realized, oh, Burn Tower, that would be perfect. But really, there aren't a lot of Pokemon weak to water in Burn Tower. Once she got to a high enough level, I did take her over to the route outside the Safari Zone, which is really the only high-level route around here. In fact, when I first started training her those first few levels, I did it with the XP share, but then I realized this is too slow. I'd rather just train her normally. I also like training a Pokemon without using the experience share, because it gives you a closer bond to your Pokemon. It makes you feel like you know them and you get a feel for their movesets, their strengths, their weaknesses. Oh, I did it again, but I guess I don't have a choice. Let me just use a Mystic Water. Not a Mystic Water, a Fresh Water. Lots of water in this game. In fact, I might just take a drink of water. Alright, downstairs we go. So my Togekiss, as something a little different, I gave it the item Choice Scarf, which is similar to Choice Specs or Choice Band, but instead of increasing your attack or special attack, now Ralph, it increases your speed, which can be really useful. Lots of cool places here. Any hidden items? I don't see any. So it occurred to me one day, because I was using that strategy, and it was a nice strategy when it worked, but a lot of times people had counters for it, or it really was better as a late game sweeper. And I really already had Dragonite for that, and Infernape, depending on who I ended up with at the end of the battle. So it occurred to me, if the main thing stopping Togekiss from being just an amazing Pokemon is the fact that it's not that fast, and you can only flinch a Pokemon when it's slower than you. Why not give it a Choice Scarf? So I gave my Togekiss Choice Scarf. I think it was Timid, unfortunately, which is a plus speed nature, which is kind of good because then it outsped like almost everything. But I probably would have rather had a Modest nature. I've already been here. If I was giving it a Choice Scarf. Modest is plus special attack. But either way, it was actually a really effective strategy because people didn't expect it. So they'd switch in like I don't know, Dug Trio or something they thought would be immune to the Thunder Wave. And then I would just Air Slash them and flinch them. And it was a really great strategy, really effective. Unfortunately, I didn't record any of those battles because that was like 10 years ago or something. But I wish I had because those were a lot of fun. Where are my repels? Didn't I just put the repels here? I guess not. Alright, let's try this again. Okay. Max repel, use. There we go. Another trainer to face. Let's do it. Wonder if there's a hidden item here. And it was cool too because I could teach Togekiss 4 really good attacking moves for type coverage. So it was probably like Air Slash. I think it was Air Slash, Shadow Ball, Ancient Power, and Flamethrower, and it was a really fun moveset. I enjoyed that quite a bit. All right, let's use Surf against Eevee. All right, decent hit. Growl will lower my attack, but that doesn't really matter. So anyway, that is my Togekiss story, and I don't know how I got talking about that, but hopefully you enjoyed it. Jolteon. Oh, this is not good. I'm just going to play it safe here and switch out Leah. Even though Surf is evenly effective, Jolteon is very, very fast, and I'm sure it's going to use an electric-type attack. So let's bring out Cherry. Why not? Cherry will resist an electric attack and like Thunder Shock. And we haven't had a chance to use them in a little while. Petal Dance might be a one-hit knockout. Jolteon doesn't have the best defenses, and it is 12 levels lower. There we go. Hopefully she doesn't have like a Flareon, because if so, I'm locked into Petal Dance. Yeah, as soon as I saw she had 2 more Pokemon, it's like, oh, it's going to be Flareon, Vaporeon. And by the time Vaporeon comes out, Cherry will probably be confused. Yeah. Sand attack, that's not ideal. You know what? Okay, and we're confused. Okay, so our accuracy is lower, we're confused. We could use Return, which might knock it out. In fact, it probably would. But this is actually a good time, I think, to switch in Leah. Or, better yet, Sandshrew. I'm so sorry, Sandshrew. But on the bright side, Sandshrew is very useful. Much more useful than any level 6 Pokemon I've seen in a very long time. And the only reason I bring Sandshrew in is not because I'm mean to Sandshrew. It's because now, instead of switching into an attack, Leah switches in on a free turn, and the battle starts fresh. So Flareon use Quick Attack, which will go first. It'll do a decent amount of damage. That's a crit. Lucky Flareon, but I believe Surf will finish it off. Yep. So originally I was hoping that Leah would have Rain Dance as her ability, and she does. Okay. Hold that thought. I'm going to switch right back into Cherry again, because I'm pretty sure Vaporeon has the ability Water Absorb, which means it won't take any damage from water attacks. In fact, water attacks will heal it. I used a Vaporeon in my Gen 16, the second time I got into competitive battling, and it was a really fun Pokemon, partly for that reason. Water is a good attacking type, and if you knew a water attack was coming, you switched to Vaporeon and it got a free heal. That was just awesome. It had a lot of other group utility too. But, so anyway, then I realized that the other ability that Horsey and its line can learn besides Swift Swim is Sniper. And Sniper makes your critical hits do 3 times as much damage instead of 2 times as much. So that's a pretty cool ability as well. So I decided I really wouldn't care which one I got, and I would just go with the flow. So I did end up with Swift Swim, and since I plan on teaching Horsey Rain Dance, and probably would have either way, knew there had to be something here. Question is, are there two somethings? Probably not. I'm glad she ended up with that ability. How about you, Leah? Are you glad? I was surprised to see me. Anything here? Lots of trainers here. I didn't think there would be that much in these caves, but this is actually good. It gives us an opportunity to train up, to do something a little off the beaten trail, and to get ready for the last stage of the Johto region. Especially because Leah is a little lower level than our other Pokemon, so she could use the XP. So even though Surf is not very effective, because of Stab, and because it's such a good move, it's actually going to do more than Twister. But I don't really want to face off against Poliwhirl. So once again, we're going to play it safe and switch out to Cherry. So if you happen to ever train a Horsey and it knows Swift Swim, I would definitely recommend Rain Dance, because Rain Dance powers up Surf, it makes you faster. What's not to love? One strategy with Kingdra, which some people used, I don't know if it was a competitive battling strategy, I think it was. I think Kingdra was actually viable back in like maybe Gen 4, especially on water teams. And what a lot of people would do is teach their Kingdra Surf, Waterfall, and Dragon Pulse or Draco Meteor, and probably Rain Dance. And the reason for that, usually you don't want to have two of the same type of attack, because it's kind of redundant. Alright, here's Lapras. Let's go ahead and heal up our Pokemon before we fight it. Just to be safe. Actually, against Cherry, or for Cherry, let's give her a Citrus Berry. And unfortunately, Flaffy's in the PC. Oh, I don't want to give it to him. I want to give it to him, but not that kind of give. There we go. I want to feed it to Cherry. There we go. Okay. Usually I would save, but I don't like saving during Let's Plays in case it crashes, so let's just fight Lapras. I'm going to try to catch Lapras. If it doesn't work out, and I don't, you know, so be it. Level 20, not too bad. It's pretty good for the stage in the game. Lapras is an amazing Pokemon. I haven't trained one in a very long time. I wouldn't mind training one, but there's just so many good water types in Gen 1. It was hard to find the chance. And actually, I feel like maybe Lapras has Water Absorb, but let's give it a shot. It does! Ah, everybody has Water Absorb. Alright, luckily it used Confuse Ray, which is not going to do that much damage, or it's not going to do really anything to Leah, because we are going to switch out. There's no use being locked into Surf against the Lapras. Let's bring in Hoot Hoot for the free switch in. I think Hoot Hoot might know Hypnosis, but even if I brought it in on a free switch in, it probably wouldn't get the chance to use it. Yep, Water Pulse. It's a pretty good water type attack. Base power of 60. See, what I don't know is if Cherry's return move is going to 1-hit KO Lapras. I don't think it would, but I'm only like 80% sure, and I don't want to defeat Lapras by accident. I think it's going to be a lot safer to bring in Gyarados. Plus the Intimidate, if Lapras knows like Body Slam or something, that'll make it do less damage, so that'll help us as well. Dragon Rage. Dragon Rage is perfect because it can't crit, so hopefully it does just below half. And Lapras has a ton of HP. That's one of the reasons it's such a good Pokemon. Ice Shard is the ice version of Quick Attack, and because we lowered its attack power with Intimidate, it did a little less damage there. Perfect. That is absolutely perfect. Okay. Now I can very safely use another Dragon Rage, and it should be probably in red range. Perfect. Wow. Body Slam. Yep, there it is. See, even at this level, Lapras knows a really good move pool. It's too bad I don't have Body Slam, because I could paralyze Lapras then, but maybe one day. Alright, let's see what kind of Pokeballs we have. Lots of regular Pokeballs. We have Friend Balls, Great Balls, Fast Balls. I think Lapras is kind of heavy, maybe. It's not a Snorlax, but it's not exactly light. Not enough. Once again, I've forgotten what I was just talking about, but I know a bit ago I was talking about Sniper, so back to that. Let's use a different Pokeball this time. I did buy one Netball. Can't use a lure ball because we're not fishing. Level ball probably won't do that much. We can use another premier ball. That'd be kind of cool. Yeah, why not? Let's throw a premier ball. I really got all those for Leah. Now that we've already caught Leah. Might as well use them on Lapras. Too bad they don't have much of a catch rate. It's always really cool like catching a legendary in a premier ball because it shows that you like really spent some time on it and some resources. I think it's always cool having like a Mewtwo in a premier ball. Pretty sure I had one of those back in the day. In like leaf green or something. Alright, we'll use the others, why not? So, because Sniper had such good crits, you could have a strategy where you tried to increase Kingdra's... Oh, I know what I was talking about. I'll get back to that in a second. Kingdra's critical chance by using like focus energy, and I think there's an ability or an item that increases your crit chance. So by using those, and there's some abilities which have an increased critical rate, although I don't know if Kingdra can actually learn any of them. Alright, last Premier Ball, here we go. And doing that, it was a very like luck-based strategy, or is a very luck-based strategy. I don't think I've ever used it or see anybody used it. Oh, I was so close! Alright, we'll find a different type of Pokeball to use. Luckily, now that it's been intimidated, I don't think it can do much damage to Cherry. The only attack that's super effective is Ice Shard. And I can just synthesis stuff off all day long. Let's use the Net Ball. But it would be a very kind of interesting gimmicky strategy if you happen to train a Kingdra and you have a... Hey, there we go. And you get Sniper. Might as well give it a try. Sounds fun. But what I was saying before about the strategy, learning Surf and Waterfall, usually you don't want two of the same moves for type coverage. But really, Kingdra doesn't learn a lot of variety in its move pool anyway. Luckily, its two types, Water and Dragon, affect almost everything for neutral or better coverage. I think in this gen only Empoleon resists them both. So a lot of people like me are going to add Ice Beam for super effective damage against like flying types or grass types. But you could still hit them with Dragon type moves for neutral damage. I think there might have been an area I didn't explore in here. Let's just walk around a little bit while I finish my thought. So you could give up Ice Beam for Waterfall, and because Kingdra has very neutral stats, I think it has 95 attack and special attack, which is pretty good. Not amazing, but pretty good. Ooh, one more trainer. Alright, let's do it. But am I healed up? Yes, I am. There are two kinds of people, those with style and those without. I'd like to think I have like style in like a style sense, not really like a clothing sense, maybe. Anyway, so he probably has all the starters, doesn't he? I could use Twister, but with one level difference, that's not going to do it. Surf it is. And if I fight Squirtle or Bulbasaur, I might have to switch. But against Charmander, it's an easy knockout. Maybe he has like Charmander and Charmeleon? How many does he have? Nope, one of each. Oh well. You know what? We're going back to Pokemon Center after this anyway, so I might as well just keep surfing. And I think if you run out of power points for your move you're locked into, you can't re-choose. You just have to use Struggle. This might be a struggle nonetheless. All right, it did exactly half of my HP. Wait, no, not quite half of my HP. Let's hope for a crit. You never know. Or Bulbasaur might use like a different move. Oh, but I'm faster. Aha. So as long as this... Oh, damage spread got me. Moves don't always do the same amount of damage. There's a range that they do. Not sure how much it is. Maybe like 10% either way. Alright, see you in Europe. So, finally, finishing this thought. So because Horsey could be, or Kingdra could be a good attacker or a good special attacker, if you taught it Rain Dance, which powers up all of its water type attacks, and then Surf, a special move, and Waterfall, a physical move, no matter what Pokemon your opponent sent in, you could hit them on their weaker of the two defenses. Because there were a lot of Pokemon that were good special walls, but really couldn't do much against physical attacks, and vice versa. So that made Kingdra a pretty good wall breaker, it was called. I think I did run that set, not in competitive battling, but just in one of my playthroughs where I raised a Kingdra. So we're going to do it a little bit differently here. But it's also nice too to have Waterfall in the open world. So maybe I'll run that set for a little while. Perhaps I'll replace Blizzard with Waterfall, and then when I get Ice Beam, I'll delete Waterfall and add Ice Beam. That wouldn't be the worst idea in the world. But alright, we found a Hyper Potion. Not really worth it, but Lapras was worth it. So, sorry this was kind of an episode of running errands, but I think they were at least pretty fun errands, and it's cool to see these different areas of the game, these trainers you might not have seen before. We come back, we do have, I think, just one more cool thing I want to do. Yeah, just one more, and I'll go ahead and reveal it. We're going to go check out Suicune, who we saw hiding in that, that area with the trees before. So when we come back, we will encounter Suicune again. I don't think we get to fight Suicune, but we might get to fight Eugene, which would also be cool. And then it's back to the main plot. Should be pretty exciting. Hope you guys stay tuned.